Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So welcome to Cut Up and Sew Quilt Chat number, we don't know.
Quilt Talk. That's what I just told Joann. I give up. I was trying to go back and actually look, and I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Okay.
But I wasn't confident enough to put it in the title. So, and we're finally getting them put onto YouTube, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like YouTube just because it kind of like, you can go and see them all right there.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to sift through Facebook, so.
That's right.
Which is nice. So
nice.
If you want to go back and rewatch any, YouTube is where I would recommend.
That's right.
So.
And I was thinking about this morning. I've noticed that there are several of you out there who watch every week. You're our loyal followers, and I just want to say thank you so much. That's so encouraging to know that there are people out there watching. And if this is your first time, welcome. I hope you come back.
Please do. And if there's a reason you're not coming back, let me know why, so we can fix it.
That's right.
Good
so
morning,
we can be
Val.
better.
Yeah, so we can do better. That's exactly right. All right, let me pop this open so I can see you guys. I think I saw Val. Maybe not. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning. I think that's everybody so far. Good morning. All right.
Okay.
We're starting early because I've got a meeting that I have to get to. But I don't know. I was excited when I told Joann, maybe you want to take the day off. And then she told me that she had some quilts to show. And I said, scratch that. Let's start early.
Let's start early. That's
so
right.
I don't know. We've got a bunch of stuff going on, getting ready for the quilt show. By the way, if you haven't heard me talk about it yet, it's February 22nd through the 25th, and I'm just going to keep hammering it down and hammering it home. We're going to be closed the 22nd through the 25th, so that's the Wednesday through Saturday, just FYI. So if you're not planning on going to the quilt show and you need supplies, I would recommend coming in a little bit early.
That's right.
But we'll be there the Monday and Tuesday. I think it's the 20th and the 21st. So. And
I understand that the Daytona show is kind of getting bigger and recovering from the COVID closures, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It seems like there's a good vendor list, which a lot of people I kind of heard said it was smaller.
Last year.
It was my first time, so I don't have any basis of comparison, but I thought it was a great show. The quilts were phenomenal. Like the art quilts were
amazing,
top notch. So right there, that's good enough reason to go. But then it is important that there's a good selection of vendors for people.
That's right.
Because that's where you get the sweet deals, which we will have plenty of. So I'm excited. So
Me too.
I got some new fabric to show you guys. We got a bunch of new fabric in the shop, but I picked some that just came in because it's, some of my favorite. Do you want me to do that first? Or
sure, go ahead.
Okay, so art gallery fabric. Let's just kind of start. I don't know how to lightning round this, maybe.
Sure, what can I do to help you?
Well, I think maybe we'll just kind of, do it. So I was having a conversation a couple of different times with people, and they were like, oh, so this is a very modern quilt shop. Very modern sewing store. And I said, well, I love modern fabric. And someone said the word contemporary. I said, well, I think that's a little bit more appropriate to describe us. But also, I love art, period. So a lot of my fabric selections are based on the artwork and the color choices. And art gallery is at the top of my list. Everybody knows I love Tula and Free Spirit and the fun and funky and bright. But art gallery there's something special about it to me. The hand obviously is phenomenal. If you haven't been able to feel the art gallery fabric, it is amazing. A lot of people make garments with their fabric, which I totally get why.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the new stuff that came in. And as you can see, we kind of did color choices. So I'm not going to tell you the name of each collection or the name of each bolt because it's a part of a different collection, but they just go really well together.
Yes, they do.
So hopefully you guys can kind of see.
Are these firefly? What are these?
Dragonflies. Looks like
dragonflies, and this wonderful stripe that I really like.
Yeah, the stripe's cool because it's not just a standard. It's kind of broken up and
it's very interesting.
And almost like a tie-dye, which is I don't know. And honestly, this will do it better when we open it up. I bet you it's a lot prettier, but we don't have to do that now. some really pretty, could be a winter. There's a little snow owl, and I don't know what kind of bird that is. Is that a cardinal?
No,
it's orange.
It's orange. Oriole maybe, but you don't see orioles in the winter. This is one of the things I looked at, and of course, always thinking collage. Would be a great backdrop, single backdrop for a collage that's maybe outside or maybe one of the winter scenes or something like that. It'd be kind of cool for that.
Yeah, I agree. Good morning, Dee. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Tracy, I think that says. Hey, Tracy. Okay. This one is one of my favorites. I don't know if the camera even does that justice, but that's all right. We'll keep doing it this way. The whole point is to let you know that we got new art gallery fabric in. Whoop, whoop. And it's beautiful. I absolutely love this stuff.
It really is.
Look at this one.
Just wonderful colors, and it's just really kind of unusual and pretty and just great.
It is pretty, and it's people again, that was what prompted me to grab this. Is people go, oh, so you only buy funky or very wild and bright fabric. And true, I love wild, funky, bright fabric, but I am absolutely blown away by this.
It has all the animals in it.
But look at the artwork. Oh my gosh. It's so detailed, and I'm a big, the drawing, the actual artwork has to be good. With kids fabric, especially when there's animals, it either needs to be super cute and cartoony, but done well, or it needs to be realistic. And
yeah, you really need to come in and see this, because this is really pretty. I mean, I don't think you can even begin to appreciate it just by looking at it on the screen there.
Yep. Hey, Mara, Annabella, and Carol. This is just some fun colorways, a little bit funkier. Bright orange.
For those people who like orange. And just remember, orange is a friendly color, and if it's not your color, there's probably a man in your life who really likes it.
I am not usually drawn to orange. I will say that. But I liked those two with these, which are really nice. This is just a really pretty light floral, and then yellow doesn't jump out at me usually either, but again, I love the drawings. It's very
this is
sketchy sort of art.
This is a really nice background. If you're doing design that's maybe a little simpler, but this would make a great background for it if you're trying to get away from the typical white or black or whatever. And
actually, it seems really far away, but on this screen, I think maybe you guys can actually see that okay. So hopefully that worked out. If not, I think what I'm gonna do next week is we're gonna bring the Martelli table. That way we can actually stand. So we're figuring it out, guys.
I brought these over because these have a little bit more. If you're more of a traditional quilter, and these fabrics kind of, you look at them and think, oh gosh, I can't figure out what to do with those. I did bring these over because these are the same art gallery. They have the same wonderful feel to them, and yet they're a little bit more traditional, a little bit easier to work if you're more that kind of quilter.
This one almost has I even said it earlier, a vintage look to it, like almost 30s. It's real kind of muted, but and I do love vintage. That look is really cool, retro vintage. So I don't know, I'm all over the place, but I love it. I like what I like, and art gallery is what I like. I mean, come on, like how cool is that?
This is your favorite, isn't it?
The animals are my favorite. This is my second favorite for sure.
This is pretty.
It's just different. It is pretty, but it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I like unique. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to that, because it is different,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice fabric.
Love it. Come in and see it for yourself. It's awesome. I think I saw Joann on there. Good morning, Joann. I think I saw Joann.
Is that the end of our fabric?
Good morning, Char.
Good morning.
That is the end of what I'm going to, since we were on such a short time. That was it. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. I
was just wandering through the shop, and this is not on Josh's list of things to show today, but I wanted to show this. This is really kind of a neat thing. It's a kit. It's a kit. And it has, let me see if I can get this close enough for you to see it. This is the quilt on the back that the kit makes. And so all of these flowers, they're two layers, and all of the flowers are already cut. They've been laser cut, and you do need to put the fusible on the back, and then divide your fabric up into squares, and then it includes the flowers, the fabric for the squares, the fabric for the border, and also the backing. And
it's a cool quilt, and in fact, I actually forgot that we had these. It's the first time that I had ordered from RB Studios, and I love their fabric, but I like cool kits, and this was a cool kit. I don't know if it has fusing.
It doesn't. I was reading
Did you read it?
I was reading what you need.
Typical man. I'm not reading. Awesome. Well, yeah. Well, thanks for pointing that out. And they have like little mini, which I think maybe I have talked about, pre-cut kits of hexagons and 2.5. Was it 2.5 inch squares?
Yeah, I should have brought those too, because they're all really neat. So instead of just a stack of 2.5 inch squares, it's set up in such a way that it's set up as a 4-patch. So the top 4 squares all go together, and then on down the line, every section goes together. And so if you like to make 4 patches and put them into a scrap type quilt, it was a great little thing. I wanted to buy it all.
She can.
I know I can.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm gonna, kits are one of those things, and pre-cuts in general here, that I can't quite figure out what you guys want because they don't fly off the shelf. So I enjoy the input, especially when you grab something and you get excited about it. I'm like, okay, fantastic. Maybe people just don't know it's there.
Yeah, that's why I showed it, because I want you to know it's there, because it looks really cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you for showing
improvising.
For improvising. That's right. You're like, Josh's list. Oh, there is no list. I don't have a list. Okay, but this is what I was excited about. So what's all this?
I'm just really excited about this. A few weeks ago, I showed the quilts that we were going to be making in the Friday morning class, and I'm just so proud of this class. To me, they're amazing. And so this particular quilt started out by making this hourglass, and then the hourglass gets cut up into 9 sections, and those sections are reassembled to make a design. And there were 2 designs that we worked with. One was a star, and I will show you the sample first. Just hold there. And so this was the sample.
I think we actually had this behind us before it was quilted and finished.
So this is the sample. I'm going to take this away and throw it over here.
Okay, so this is the one that you guys did see already.
Yes, right. And so you saw that. So this was made by one of the students in the class.
Let me do this here. I'm going to raise camera just a little since we're standing up.
Okay, so this was made by someone in the class, and this is the same star pattern that I just showed you. Ooh. But you can see how it looks a lot different. These squares tend to stand out a little bit more, and you really have to look a little bit more for the stars. So one of the things I really like about that is it causes people to really stop and look at your quilt. It's not just a flyby, oh yeah, there's a star quilt. There's more to it than that, and it really takes some time to really absorb what it's all about. She made this with one batik fabric, I think. I'm not sure if that's a batik, but it was.
No, it's not. But it's got a batik look.
Has a look
I can't remember that. We're actually out of that one. I loved it.
Because it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
But that was one fabric that she used to make that, and then the background she did in a pink. And I just really enjoy looking at this one. It's so pretty.
These are my colors. I love this one. We're not allowed to say who's who, because everybody in your class killed it, by the way. They all did so good, and some of them are watching, so I won't name any names if we're not supposed to do that.
So
Good morning, Ruth Ann.
So once again, this is a sample, and this is where this was a different way of assembling that same square that was cut up. So this was the sample. And then this is this was one of the students, and she used a batik, a gray batik. So the nice part about that is that batik has a lot of texture to it. So it doesn't look perfectly flat, but it still has this wonderful, rich, beautiful look to it.
Yeah, I told you, I love like a rich gray with against the white. It looks really elegant, clean. I don't know. It's just, this is really pretty.
It is. This was just one. I don't know. I keep saying this is my favorite, or the next one's my favorite, or the last one's my favorite, but they're all my favorites.
They're all my favorites. And what I love about it is you get to see what each person, kind of their flavor, their taste, and their
different personalities come out in their quilts.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, very much so. I love it. And they all did so good.
So this is the last one. And this is the same design as what I just showed you in the blue. And one of the things I really like about this one is this particular design is very difficult to do as a scrap quilt. The stars, you can use all kinds of fabrics with it and it'll work fine. But this medallion style is difficult to do that because of the way it's made. But with this particular fabric that has so much color and so much activity in it, you get kind of the best of both worlds, where it has a lot of life to it, but at the same time, it still has the consistency of one fabric being used over and over again. I loved how this one turned out. This one's cool.
And I would not have this fabric, like I wasn't drawn to this fabric so much, this batik, but when you cut it up like this, I absolutely love it so much more than when it was just on the board.
Yeah. I kept watching this as it was coming together and thinking, oh, this is going to be beautiful. This is just great. And honestly, I felt that way about all of them. But this one just really had a special look to it.
Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Mary. Everybody in that class, and I think we even said it before, like I've watched them grow because you started with the same kind of group of ladies, and I think they were beginner. Didn't it start as a beginner?
It's had some variants. There's a couple of people in there who have quilted for a while. A couple of people who had done one quilt and that was it. And then they started in my class. So there's a variance in the talent that's in there, but no matter where they started, they've all grown and developed a style of their own and an ability of their own that's been really nice.
I'm gonna grab this since we're talking about your class, just to make sure that people see. Now that you kind of let's see here. Oh, here, hold that. I'm gonna walk around the other way. The students in your class are phenomenal, but I gotta say there's something about, obviously, common denominator here, a good educator. You know what I mean? So this is her next class that starts on March 1st.
First Friday in
March. Friday in March. It's not March 1st, sorry. Yeah, first Friday in March. So if you see, and we said this last time maybe even, some people are going to look at this and go, oh no, that looks too advanced, too difficult. It is not a beginner quilt.
It's not a first quilt.
It's not a first quilt, right. But it's doable.
And it can be easily broken down. You can actually, when you look at a quilt,
I can hold it up.
The tendency is to look at a quilt as a whole because it forms a design. In this quilt, you see the gray lines going around and forming a design, and you look at that design as a whole, and so you look at the quilt as a whole. But when you're thinking about, is it a difficult quilt to make? Can I make that quilt? How hard is it? It's scary. You don't want to do that. You want to find the square. So the square, the individual block is right here, and all that is 2 half-square triangles and 2 4 patches. And so, when you start looking at it when you start breaking it down, then you start seeing it as a quilt that is doable, that is...
Break it down. Yeah, that's smart, actually. See? Good education. So if you are looking for a quilt class, which I know people ask all the time, what quilt classes are you offering? Well, this is the one that I would recommend. And it's a 3... Basically, it just keeps going. We'll call it the Friday Quilt Club. That's not the technical name, but...
It's the Friday quilt. I don't know.
It is a Friday quilt group.
We don't have a name. Maybe we should.
But most quilts run 3 weeks?
4.
4, okay. So it is a month-long... 4. It is a month-long class, and you meet once every week.
Once a week. And, I've always... at this point, everybody does the same thing, but let's say you decided to take the class and you really liked it because it is just a great group of women. And I just look forward to Friday so much. But let's say you decided to take the class and you were really fast and you finished it before everybody else, then just come the next week and bring something that you're working on, or start thinking about the next quilt or what that we're going to do or whatever. But this class has been going on maybe for 6 to 8 months now, I guess.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been great. And I always want the same ladies to keep coming back because we love them, but I would love to see a couple more people jump in there. And you feed off of other people. You get inspired and motivated, and you learn things. And I don't know, I love the camaraderie of that group in particular. So
yeah, it is really neat.
Cool.
And I think one of the things I've been seeing lately is that they're learning from each other. They're not just learning from me. I feel like I'm just a figurehead at this point sometimes, but everyone will bring something different to the table, and everybody learns from each other.
I love it.
It's been fun. Stephanie
asked, how long does each class last? Like, what's each?
4 weeks.
Well, yes, four sessions. But maybe, are you asking each class in particular, like how many hours? So it's what, 10:30 to?
Thank you.
I mean, so I think that was the question.
It's 10:30 to 2:30.
10:30 to 2:30. Okay. And honestly, I think last time somebody said, well, and I saw her trying to rush. And she said, well, I think we got to be out of here by. And I was like, no. I don't schedule a class after you guys. The classroom is yours for the day, so I never want anybody to feel rushed in here.
Yeah, and it's usually just me that's tired and hungry that limits the class.
So even if she leaves, you can hang out with us all day.
That's right.
I think my response was, we close at 5.
That's right. I heard you say that last week.
So, good morning, Patricia. So, yeah, it's an awesome class, and I highly recommend. You can go to cutupandsew.com to register, or call us. Come in and see us. That's what I'd always prefer. So
yeah, and if you decide to take the class and you kind of look at the fabric and you think, oh gosh, I don't know what fabric to use for that, then just let me know and I'll help you pick it out. It's not a problem.
Yeah, and I love doing that. So come in anytime and ask. She says yes. Okay, it was 10:30 to 2:30, so that was the question. And I hope to join soon. Awesome. We would love to have you.
Yay.
Call if you have any questions. I think that's it. That's it on my list.
Okay.
Short and sweet, but let's see. We do have some other classes coming up. So again, go to cutupandsew.com. Just click on classes. I actually changed it up and made a huge box that says classes now.
Oh, good.
So you can't miss it. And then all the calendar will show up and it's got information. But again, please call. I know some people don't love computers, and that's fair. Just give us a call. We're happy to help. And if you need to talk about the class, I can easily get you in contact with Joann.
Or whoever the teacher is.
Right, or whoever the teacher is. That's right. So I think that's it.
Okay. It's been fun. I had a good time today.
Yeah, thanks for sharing all the quilts, and nice job, ladies. We'll see you guys Friday. Oh, wasn't there a week that we were kind of opening it up to almost open sew?
So, yes, it is. There's an open sew. This Friday, there's no class at all because I'm gone. The following Friday, there is you have quilts you want to finish, those works in progress that are hiding in your drawers or wherever, or the unfinished objects, things like that are lurking about. If you have something like that you want to finish and you need a little bit of help or encouragement to get through that finishing process, join us. It'll be next week from 10:30 to 2:30 or thereabouts. And
okay, so we can talk about it again we'll remind you next Monday. Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
And if you're thinking, gosh, the Friday class sounds like okay, but I don't know, then come join us that day and you can kind of get a flavor for how it works and the people in the class and see if you actually would like to join it.
That's exactly right. And good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, and have a good day. We're about to jump off, but you can rewatch. Christy just mentioned, and thank you. Boy, these are moderators. It's fantastic. This Sunday is Super Bowl. Is that the 12th? This Sunday? Is that right?
I think it is.
All my calendars are being used as...
Yeah, I think
so,
it is.
Sunday the 12th? Is that right? That doesn't seem right.
How about if we just say this coming Sunday?
But is it this coming... Christy, moderator, are you 100% sure? I don't have my calendar in front of me. I forgot the date. Shame on me. But we're doing a really fun thing. I should say Christy is the host. She's hosting this. So, yes, the 12th. Thank you, Char. Moderator number 2. It is the Super Bowl. You get the play on words right last time.
Very
It's cute, right? So basically, we're opening up on Sunday just for you guys to come and hang out with us. I think Christy said something like football widows. But we will. I have actually had people say, "Are the TVs going to be up to watch the game?" It's from 10 to 4, so you'll be able to get home to watch the game if you choose to do so. But we're never open on Sundays, so if you want to come and hang out and just bring something to work on, the more it is a potluck actually. So so
there's food involved.
Bring some snacks, some food, some dip. And yes, the 12th, and it'll be fun. I thought it was such a cute idea. So join us, and again, call if you have questions.
Yeah, and back in the day, I didn't think I'd ever really say that pertaining to me, but back in the day, we would have called it a happening. So
a happening.
So
it's going to be happening. It's going to be happening. Awesome. Thank you, Christy, for reminding me. Okay, that's it.
That's it.
You guys have an amazing day, a wonderful week, and we will hopefully see you soon.
Bye. See you next Monday.
See you guys.